Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strategy Room. I'm Ketley. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world. Well, as you know, I'm in the Bahamas and it's a bit gloomy here today, but nevertheless, it's always better in the Bahamas. It's always beautiful. Can I tell you a fun fact about the Bahamas? 8 months out of the year, we have a holiday at least once. Yes, you heard me. 9 holidays in 8 months. Truly, it is paradise, right? Come see us sometime. Anyway, let me go on because, we don't have much time and we need to get to this right away. So let's continue our chat. Remember we were talking about how to get promoted, right? And let's do a quick recap of our last video. First of all, we talked about shifting the mindset. Remember that? Shifting the mindset from an employee to a businessman, businesswoman, right? Because after all, you are exchanging your time to execute a service for an agreed sum for your client being your employers in this instance, right? And then additionally, we talked about the comparison between an employee and a business. And we saw that it's not much different. Remember? It's not much different. So we're going to move on now to the second part. But before we do that, I want you to please get a pen, paper, write down what your goals are. I know we're trying to shoot for that next position. So I need you to please be as clear as you possibly can. You need to see the end goal. And remember that you cannot strategize unless you envision exactly what it is that you're going for, right? So make sure it's very, very clear. And I also want to add here too that this information is good for anybody, no matter which part or point on the totem pole you are, whether you're the line staff, whether you're in corporate or even in business. This can work for you, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Hello guys, I have a question for you. Do you want this position or you truly desire this position? Think about that for a second, because there's a difference. When you want something, it is mind felt. So that means it shifts easily. But when you desire something, it's heartfelt. And so it stays the course. So I just want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. But I'm thinking you desire this position, right? So let's move on. I love principles. Principles are like God's cheat sheet for mankind. It certainly takes the guesswork out of life, I'm telling you, right? So we're going to use at least 4 of them. There are so many that we can use. Let me just put that out there. It is so many of these principles that we can use in this instance, but I decided to narrow it down to about 4. And I think these 4 will make a difference, okay? So first one up, the law of intention and desire. The law of intention and desire dictates that when intention and desire comes together, it produces a path that ensures the completion of your desire. What does that mean? Well, let me see how we can put it simply. Okay, so when desire and intention comes together, it creates a force that creates a path for you. And this path takes you directly to your desire. Okay, so that part is usually still a process, right? So when you are engaged with the law of desire and intention, oh my goodness, you become so hungry. You become like a hungry student. You want to know everything. You want to be guided. It comes naturally. But let me warn you, while you go through this process, you're going to see some things that is good about you. You're going to see some things that is not so good about you, but that's okay because you're in student mode, right? And in this mode, you're very honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, right? And while you're honest with yourself, you have to make the necessary changes as you move along. Now, mastery and competence is the order of the day. What do I mean by that? In your current position, because we all can agree that you cannot move on to the new position unless you're competent, unless you master your current position. So I need you to do a self-check to make sure please, that you've already mastered your current position and you're competent in your current position. If you're not, get at it, right? For those of you who are masters of your current position and are competent, mastery includes competence, I need you now to do your research on the new position. I need you to do whatever you have to do to get that information, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a course, whether it's shadowing the person or a person that you know that is in that position. Get all the information you possibly can. Study it, read it, eat it, sleep it, drink it, until it embodies you, until you can actually see yourself in that position, okay? So that's very important for you to be consistent, because consistency is the key. Nothing happens without consistency, okay? So next principle up is the law of excellence. The law of excellence dictates that everything should be done with superior effort to yield a superior result. So that means that everything you do must be done in excellence. Let me tell you something about excellence. It's actually one of my favorite. Excellence is so powerful that it causes attention to come to you without even you putting any effort into it. I'm telling you, excellence actually causes the king to inquire about who you are. The king, I know you heard that before, right? Who is the king in this instance? The king is your employer, aka your client, right? It's so loud. Excellence is so loud, it's deafening. They have no other choice to come and find out who is this person that is delivering such excellent work, such excellent manners and everything that they do, So excellent is your friend, right? And excellent, like I said, has to be done at all times. You cannot be excellent in public and not excellent in private. Excellent has to be done in both places, okay? Excellent never takes a day off. Excellent is not hypocritical. So you can't, in front of your clients, be excellent when you're at home or at play. You're kind of shabby. No, that cannot work. You have to be consistently excellent at all times, right? Now, I want to plug something in here. You have to be excellent in the way that you look as well, because whether you like it or not, it's the reality. Your appearance is the seed to acceptance. So you want to be accepted as this new person in the new position. Look the part, be the part, okay? It's very important. Okay, next law up is the law of giving. Now for this one, you have to have a certain mindset and a great attitude. So not to worry about that though, because you're in student mode, it's gonna automatically come. And you must know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that as long as you're giving, you will receive. So don't spend time trying to figure out when you're gonna receive, how and where you're gonna receive. No, your assignment is to focus on giving a little extra on everything that you're given to do. You must do whatever it takes to get the job done, right? So sometimes that may require a little effort in your resources, a little extra effort in your time, but that's all a part of it, right? So you may have some naysayers coming in your corner telling you that, you're wasting your time and you shouldn't give a minute more because you're not going to get any more. But don't worry about those naysayers. Don't mind them ragging on you, because you have a goal. You're focused on the plan. Remember what you envisioned in the beginning? Keep focused and keep consistent. And let me give you a tip. Always under promise and over deliver. It makes you look like a superhuman, right? So give. You will be rewarded in due season. Okay, we're winding down now. The fourth and the last law is the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is the flip side of the law of giving. The law of reciprocity owes no one and is very fair. I know you've heard this before, the more you give, the more you receive. That is correct, but I want to add a little something to that. The intensity in which you give dictates the intensity in which you receive. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. Let's say, for instance, someone caters to your need, comes and started catering to your needs. You know, whatever you thought about, they thought about ahead of you, and they did this with excellence and with a great attitude, never asking for a payback, never complaining, but they just go about doing whatever you want them to do every single day. You don't think eventually you're gonna want to repay them, that you're gonna want to reciprocate? Yeah? Well, guess what? That is the law of reciprocity at work. The law is just so natural that it plays on the human psyche and it makes you want to reciprocate, right? So I implore you to like I said before, don't worry about giving, because the law of reciprocity is right here to catch you, because whatever you put in is whatever you're going to get out. And if you, with competence, overcompensate for your client, in this case, meaning your employer, you will be compensated. So flow like water. Flow like water. What do I mean by flow by water? What do I mean by flow like water? It actually means to allow the process to do whatever it has to do for you, through you, and with you, right? And after you would have come to that place where the process is done with you, you would flow right into that promotion. You wouldn't even know how and when that happened. Your job is just to stay the course and be consistent. And I want to tell you this. Consistency is very important, because branding is conceived through the act of consistency. Let me tell you a story. I remember I told you in the previous video that my father told me to go and do my business. Let me tell you how I got that done. I was working in the sales area, and I was a sales administrator. But I love loans. I love helping people. I love to see the loan officers just do what they have to do. And I just love to see the look on the client's face when they walk away satisfied. I love that. And I wanted to be a part of that. So what I decided to do, I made a decision through law of intention and desire that I was going to be a loan officer. So I went about doing what I had to do, learning the position, making sure that I understand all the documents, all the jargons. I read the policy. I went online. I did all I could do to get that information, right? And while I was doing that, something started to happen to me. You know, I began to feel like I was a loan officer. But let me tell you this though, before I jumped into that, I made sure that I was doing what I should have done as a loan administrator. I made sure that I exhausted everything I needed to know, everything that I had to do. I made sure I mastered that. And so it was easy for me to transition into a loan officer. So like I said, I got all the information and I was like, I embodied this loan officer position. Then something happened one day. One day, my sales manager and the overall branch manager both were out of office. And so someone from corporate had to come down and plug in the hole because there was nobody else available. And guess what? One of the big wigs came down and she took the office of the manager, which was just outside the little area that I sat. And I, just worked because, I've already embodied the position of the loan officer. So I was just like a busy bee, vacillating between what I do on my desk and helping the loan officers get the customers out. And I didn't even know this woman was watching me. Then one day, the second day actually, she called me in the office and she said to me, I see that you really like sales. Do you like sales? I said, yes, ma'am. I love it. She said, okay. Later on that day, she came to me with this report. She said, in this report, it has the clients whose loans are 30% repaid. Why don't you just make some calls and see if you get some clients in? Oh my goodness. I pulled that report from her and I stayed back after work and I made those calls. See, I put in the extra hours, right? I made those calls and I brought those customers in and I shared it among the loan officers. Of course, I took a couple for myself, right? And we just worked it. And that week was a good week. We break record that week. And I was in my element. I was so happy. But you would never guess what happened the following week. The following week, I was called into my manager's office. My manager returned. And he said to me, I have some news for you. I said, okay. I'm always chipper, always cheerful. What do you have to say to me? He said, you just got promoted. I'm like, what? How? He said, you are now the newest loan officer on the block. I'm like, how did this happen? He said, the lady from corporate, she was so impressed with how you manage your desk and the new position. She said, it seems as though you were a loan officer all your life. She said, make you a loan officer. In fact, she didn't say make you. She called and she told me that you are the new loan officer and that you are to be put in the loan office to the front. To the front. Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I did my business and I got my promotion. And it wasn't just any promotion. It took me 2 steps up. Never done before. But I got my position because I did my business. So another thing I want to say to you, when this promotion comes, it may take you somewhere that you didn't anticipate, but like I said, flow like water. I have a next story for you. My manager of sales, he was wonderful when it came to customer service. He made sure that when we gave him our files to review, he got it out quickly. When the lobby was full, he went out to the lobby and helped as best as he could. He stayed late with us. He came in early. He did whatever had to be done to make sure that that department flowed smoothly and the customer was satisfied. But he did this day in, day out, year in and year out, and he was consistent. And a lot of promotions came by past him, and we really felt bad for him. He was trying to figure out, what's happening? How come he was overlooked? But he continued because he was branding himself. He understood that he was working for himself, and so he did a good job. One day, this gentleman came in to inquire about a loan. He didn't have an appointment, and so he sat in the lobby waiting for the next available loan officer. And so my manager passed, several times, and he noticed that the gentleman was sitting in the lobby, and he said, this gentleman has been here a little bit too long. So he called the gentleman to him and took him in his office. And he said, how can I help you today? So the gentleman had some questions, and we didn't know that the gentleman was a secret shopper from another financial institution. And he handled that person with care. I mean, like customer care, giving him all the information, making suggestions. He gave him his card, he gave him his personal cell number, and he said, I'm available anytime you're ready to do business with us. The person walked away very impressed, very happy. So, okay, I'll call him Mr. B. Mr. B continued through the day, through the week. 2 weeks later, Mr. B got a phone call from a financial institution. Said, hey, we got your name from someone. We cannot divulge at this time. We'd like to have a chat with you. We may have a position that we think will suit you based on what we're being told. And can you come at a certain time? Of course, Mr. B, without hesitation, took that appointment. When Mr. B went into that appointment, he saw the gentleman that he saw before. That gentleman had a position in corporate. I mean, he was one of those top managers in corporate. And he said, when I came in, you impressed me. You gave me the care as if I was the only person that you were serving. I saw the way you handle your staff. I saw the way you handle the customers in the lobby. You are perfect for what we want. So I was wondering if you're interested in taking the position of Assistant Director of Sales. What? Now, could you imagine from Assistant Manager of Sales to Assistant Director of Sales of one of the well-renowned financial institution? Oh my goodness. So his promotion came all right, but it did not come where he was. It was to another financial institution. That's why I said to you, flow like water. Go wherever it takes you. And I want you to know something. Whatever you're looking for, whatever position you're looking for, is also looking for you. It is just waiting for you to go through the process to become that version of yourself that is worthy to claim it. Okay? So go through the process. Allow time, to do what it has to do to you, for you, through you, and eventually you'll get this position in your hands. So I want to be the first to congratulate you for taking the time, to make the decision to go and get this position, to go and get what you want. And like my father said to me, I'll say to you, go and do your business. Do it well. You got this, and make this happen, right? So I hope this was beneficial to you. I hope that this is going to help you on your track to getting promoted. If this has been truly beneficial to you, I'd like you to do all that YouTube-y stuff, like, share, leave a comment. Oh, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, because like I said in our last video, we are dropping videos every Wednesday, so you'd be one of the first to know when we drop the next series, okay? So, oh yes, also producers telling me to let you know that if you want to leave a comment, if you want to leave an extensive comment, you can email us at thestrategyroom, that's DA, because remember, I'm the island girl, thestrategyroom@gmail.com. Drop us a long line, not a short line, drop us a long line. Okay, until next time, leave where you are better than how you met it. See you later. Bye-bye.